high schools in Nebraska have chosen Republican Senator Ben Sasse to give a commencement speech to graduating high school students. And it turned out to be a big mistake. You're about to find out why in a series of clips that we have chosen for you. Take a look.
Graduates. Adults don't tell you this, but once or twice a week in real world life, someone's going to ask you to climb a giant rope. No reason, just climb the rope. Sure, every now and then the rope is a metaphor, but honestly, most of the time, it's just a big rope, and you have to climb it. If you don't get that joke, talk to your mom and dad. Back in the day when we were a lot fitter than you people are, we used to have to climb ropes all the way up to the ceiling of the gym all the time.
You know, that was really what was missing from my high school graduation. I really wanted to hear a government official talk about how fat I am.
Back in our time when we were more fit than you. So this one's bipartisan, unfortunately. Joe Biden, of course, also famously said, I don't want to hear it about these millennials. You think you have it tough? Okay, I'm giving him the Trump voice, but kind of. And he said, basically, no, we had it tough and you guys are losers. It's not a great way to get votes. It's not a great way to be a human being. Look, I know people are flipping out about this speech, and there's one part that's really terrible. I don't know. He was trying to be humorous. It wasn't working well. And without a crowd, it's even tougher. He shouldn't have tried. But I'm not mortally offended by that so far.
I mean, his comedy is so bad that, like, Dave Rubin gives him a run for his money. Like, this was a disaster. Like, every single joke fell flat. And then he also politicized it in the worst possible way. So let's take a look at the next clip.
You're going to say stuff at your high school reunion service ceremonies. Remember that time that China started a big global pandemic that created the worst public health crisis in over a century and brought the economy to its knees? And we had to stay at home and everybody was hoarding toilet paper and we all watched this documentary about some weirdo dude who raised tigers. Yeah, it'll be pretty hard to forget that. So you guys have this silver lining. You're going to remember your high school graduation. Nobody else has ever remembered their high school graduation. You're going to remember it. You're graduating in your living room and you're having a senator come and talk to you about some dude named Joe Exotic. But that's probably the least weird thing that happened this last month. You are graduating in the midst of two crises. We've got a public health crisis, which is real, and many of us know people who've been suffering because of it for the health reasons. And we've got an economic crisis on our hands, and all of us are going to be navigating that. You're entering the world. You're moving from basically the end of childhood to the start of adulthood at a time when the economy has some pretty ugly prognostication coming. It's hit our state hard. It's probably hit your family. It's hit our whole country. We are going to beat the virus. We've got 5 different American pharmaceutical companies doing amazing research to develop a vaccine. We're going to have a serious reckoning with the thugs in China who let this mess spiral out of control by lying about it. Your generation is going to have a big calling. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of all this.
Yeah, that's where he lost me. So I don't mind him being irreverent, even if it didn't work, but when he starts talking about how the Chinese are at fault and does the Republican talking points on that to a high school class, it's gross. And so if you don't know, the RNC wrote a memo, or a wing of the Republican Party wrote a memo saying, when you talk about the coronavirus, don't talk about Trump. Don't even try to defend him because it's indefensible, his actions, in essence. Always divert to blaming the Chinese. So they know that they're demagoguing on purpose. And I get it that you all do it like the puppets that you are, the sad, sad little puppets that you are on cable news, but leave the kids out of it. What are you doing? Propaganda for the high school graduating class about how the Chinese are all thugs? You're such an ass. So look,
yeah.
And here's a more important context for you guys. Ben Sasse, a Republican from Nebraska, and every once in a while he'd talk about holding Trump accountable, and we would kid around about the pronunciation of his name, and I'd say, classy Ben Sasse says that Trump should stop it with attacking people on Twitter, we should hold him accountable, etc. Now, at the end of the day, what happened with Ben Sasse? Okay?
Not so classy.
Exactly. Didn't do any of that. Didn't hold Trump accountable, and as his election got closer, all of a sudden he did nothing but kissing Donald Trump's ass. And
you
now,
know what, Jay? I really appreciate that you're Collins him out. Susan Collins, same thing. Lots of tough talk.
Well, there's now more rhymes with Ben Sasse, which is kiss ass. And that's what he's turned into with Trump. And so now he's going out there and doing racist demagoguery against the Chinese generally to high school students, thinking he's a cool guy with his tie a little lucid. And, sometimes they make you just climb a rope for no reason. And remember, it's the goddamn Chinese's fault, okay? That's what you remember about this. The Chinese did this to us. Okay, whatever. Go kiss whatever donor's ass that you are bought by. Go kiss Trump's ass. And I was going to, without the Chinese stuff, I was going to say everybody's overdoing it. Who cares about his stupid jokes? But that stuff really puts it over the top. And it's super ugly to do at a commencement speech for high school students.
Yeah, I'm just going to say one final thing. What bothered me about it, because I guess I'm at this point desensitized to the xenophobia and all the hatred coming from the Republican Party. So that part didn't surprise me. What irritated me is that these high school students are missing out on so many wonderful parts of their senior year, whether it's the sporting events that their high schools have, like homecoming, prom. Is homecoming in the beginning of the year? I don't know. My high school didn't have homecoming. Anyway, okay, never mind. Let's just pretend like I didn't say that. But yeah, prom, graduation, grad night, they don't get to have a graduation in person. They have to do it while they're social distancing and they're at home. What they need more than anything right now is leadership and an adult who's going to give them some hope, right? And give them some direction. And he did none of that. All it was this pissy little speech where he tried to be irreverent, wasn't really irreverent, and offered nothing to these kids. And I just think it's pathetic. Don't do that. You're supposed to show leadership here, and he did the exact opposite.
You didn't get your prom. You didn't get your graduation. Instead, all you got was kiss ass Ben Sasse. That's a bad way to end it.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat, emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.